Welcome to AGORACOM, the Small Cap Epicenter, and AGORACOM TV, a daily, fast-paced, edgy show that brings you the best press releases out of the small cap world every morning at the open, so you can hopefully profit from them and maybe even find your next great small cap investment. It's Wednesday, February the 20th. I've got 7 great press releases for you from both sides of the border, plus a stock Halted report for you. So let's get straight to it. Because we've got both financials, sales contracts, and drill results out of the resources world. I'm going to start you off with Solar Power. Trades in the U.S. on the OTC under SOPW. They're reporting preliminary 2007 revenues of approximately $18 million. This is a photovoltaic solar company that provides photovoltaic solar electric systems for commercial, public, and residential customers in the U.S. Now, this is revised guidance of $20 million earlier this year, and they're saying that's due to the delay in one of their projects, which is expected to actually be installed in the first half of 2008, so they're just deferring revenue here. The company reiterated revenue guidance of $60 million for 2008 and approaching profitability by fiscal year end. I've got a quote here from Steve Kircher, who's the company's CEO. Our business continues to expand rapidly, as evidenced by the number of new contracts we have signed. Despite the delay, our 2007 revenue more than tripled the revenues for 2006. Looking forward, the pipeline of business opportunities is strong, and we expect again approximately triple revenues for this calendar year. Big growth out of Solar Power Inc. We know where that industry is going, and this may be a company to watch. They closed yesterday at $2.45. Staying with the OTC, Janel World Trade Limited trades there under JLWT. They put out their first quarter numbers. These are operating results for the first quarter. They did very well. Revenue increased by 20% to approximately $20 million. Net revenue rose 31% to a record of $2.51 million. That's revenues minus forwarding expenses. EBITDA increased 142% to $266,000. Great numbers there out of Janel World Trade. They closed yesterday at $1.32. Next up, moving over to the venture exchange, Wanted Technologies trades there under the stock symbol WAN. They're posting numbers, strong revenues and profits for the second quarter. Revenue is up 88% for the second quarter and 103% for the first 2 quarters. Net earnings, 41% increase for Q2 and 141% increase for the first half of the year. Let's get to those numbers specifically. Revenues in Q2, $1.42 million. Revenues for the first half, $2.87 million. Net profit Q2 about $107,000, and for the first half $220,000. A lot of this growth came from an acquisition that they concluded on June 30th, 2007, which obviously contributed significantly to both revenue and profit. The company closed yesterday at 50 cents. Next up, Thermal Energy trades on the venture exchange under TMG. They're announcing that the Canadian government is investing $900,000 in Thermal Energy's bioenergy technology. This is a repayable investment for a pending bioenergy facility at an Eastern Canadian pulp and paper mill. The investment was made by Natural Resources Canada. The purpose of the project to reduce emissions and fossil fuel use at a Canadian pulp and paper mill. President CEO Tim Angus had this to say: this is a project which could become a showcase solution for many industries looking to reduce their fossil fuel consumption and replace that demand with efficient use of biofuel created from biowaste. We're seeing a lot of these projects starting to come on stream. This continues on the solar energy news we had at the beginning of the show. A lot of these green energy companies are out there, but we're really looking for the ones that are generating real results, and you got to like it when the Canadian government actually makes an investment here. It is repayable, but they did make the investment. Now, the deal with the pulp and paper mill isn't done yet. The company, this Thermal Energy, they signed a letter of intent with the pulp and paper mill back, and they announced it back on September 18th, 2007. They've completed a detailed feasibility study, and now it's in the hands of the client. A decision by the mill is expected this fiscal year. Now, if the project does occur, they're looking at reducing emissions, including an estimated 69,000 tons of greenhouse gases per year if this deal goes through. Plus, it'll mean that the pulp and paper mill enters into a multi-million-dollar green energy supply contract with TMG, they closed yesterday at 24.5 cents. Next up, Silverstone Resources trades on the venture under SST. They put out numbers they put out 4 months of silver sales and an increased sales forecast. They're reporting sales of 737,000 ounces of silver in 2007. The increase here is related to a previous forecast where they thought they're going to have about 700,000 ounces. So they moved up to 737, and that was due to increased production at the Cozamin mine. Now, it doesn't look like they own the mine because on September 28th, 2007, Silverstone completed the purchase of 100% of the life of the mine from London Mining's Nervis Corvo and Aljustrel mines. Silverstone purchased 2007. This is what I like here. They purchased 2000 production at an average cost of $3.98 per ounce. The cost of silver is fixed at less than $4 per ounce through 2010, and given the fact silver is trading over $17 today, this looks like a good deal by Silverstone. They closed yesterday at $2.94. Next up, Grizly Diamonds trades on the venture exchange under GZD, and for our viewers in Germany on the Frankfurt exchange under G6H. This is an AGORACOM client, but as always, we look for news that stands on its own. This definitely hits that threshold. This news came out yesterday afternoon. We couldn't report on it yesterday morning because it came out in the afternoon. But what did they announce? They announced a new Alberta kimberlite discovery. They intersected a new kimberlite on the Smokey the Bear property in the Buffalo Head Hills of northern Alberta. The discovery represents the first new kimberlite discovered in Alberta in 5 years. On top of that, it's also the first kimberlite discovered in the Buffalo Head Hills by a company outside of the Buffalo Head Hills joint venture, which included Ashen Mining in Canada and Pure Diamonds Exploration. The hole remains in kimberlite to a depth of 131 meters. Core is being sent for analysis to determine and confirm the mineralogy of the kimberlite. Brian Testo, CEO of Grizly, had the following to say: "We're extremely pleased to find the first new kimberlite in Alberta in over 5 years. This kimberlite is named the BE01 kimberlite in honor of Brian Elkow. The much-anticipated drill program is now well underway, and we look forward to additional discoveries." The company closed yesterday at $1.08. Congratulations to the Grizz over there. MetapCorp trades on the venture exchange under MTC. They announced they intersected high-grade moly, rhenium, and a high-grade molybdenum rhenium-bearing quartz vein on their 100% owned Plater moly project in northern Ontario. The numbers there: 0.29% moly, 0.6 grams per ton of rhenium, and 1.4 grams per ton of silver. That's over 11.6 meters. The company says this represents the highest grades intersected by MetapCorp to date. Also, hole 87, not too shabby either. 0.13% moly, 0.6 grams per ton of rhenium, and 2.6 grams per ton of silver over 5 meters. Aubrey Evelet, who's the VP over there and Chief Operating Officer, has said the following: "To hit this high-grade moly rhenium silver bearing quartz vein in a 200-meter step-out is quickly showing the considerable size of this mineralized system. Given the strong market demand for moly and rhenium, the Plater Moly project represents a very important asset in MetapCorp's portfolio of properties." Rhenium, first time I've heard about it, maybe the first time many of you heard about it. They actually have an explanation there as to the uses of rhenium, so go take a look at that press release. They close at 94 cents. And finally, one stock halt to report. This is Golden Tag Resources, trades on the venture exchange under GOG. This is an AGORACOM client, but this is a halt. We got to report this. Halted at 9:17 today. Request of company pending news. That's all we have. So keep an eye on the news wires for any news out of GOG. That's a wrap for the day. As always, if you're looking for more great small cap companies, don't forget about the AGORACOM marketplace. Over 85 companies now listed by industry and exchange with great descriptions, so you can quickly find the one that's best suited for your portfolio. That's a wrap. Have a fantastic day. 7 great press releases. See you again tomorrow.